Hi, my name's Lauren Farricker, and I am the host of the Woof Life podcast. If it's your first time here, we are a podcast that is dedicated to everything dog. Let's see what we have in store this week. Hi, this is Lauren Farricker, and I am the host of the Woof Life Show. We're so excited that you're here, and today I am thrilled to be doing the dog equivalent of VH1's Behind the Music. And today the story that we are telling is Tinkerbelle the Dog. She has an incredible story, and we're going to be talking to Sam Carrell about the Cinderella story that is Tinkerbelle. Not to confuse two Disney films, but there is some confusion, and it is a very fun story. To tell you a little bit more about Tinkerbelle, within months, she went from a cage within an animal shelter in Long Island to being adopted by Sam to being discovered on the street like the Giselle model that she is by an animal agent, booked her first work, which ended up being a campaign for Ralph Lauren, and has since amassed quite a bit of a social media following. I believe she's over 200,000 followers, and she's met some of the biggest celebrities in the world. I'm so excited to share this story. It's something that I've gotten to know Sam. They've been so gracious, and I could not be more thrilled to welcome Sam and Tinkerbelle to the Woof Life Show. Enjoy.
Sam, you own Tinkerbelle the Dog that we know and love on Instagram, who takes it over, steals the spotlight, all of those things. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us on the Woof Life podcast. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you. I'm excited to join you today.
How is Tinkerbelle doing?
She's awesome. She's some kind of fierce, fabulous, fluff the little diva. She's ready to go.
Awesome. So tell me about the story of how Tinkerbelle came to be in your life. I know that it's personally, I know it's interesting because she's actually a rescue, but if you could talk a little bit about that, I think it's so interesting.
Absolutely. I've never had an animal because of allergies. And friends of mine ran a shelter on Long Island, and they were telling me this little dog had been there for a couple of weeks, and I happened to be in the neighborhood, stopped by to talk to them, and she was still there. And I said, nobody's adopted her, and walked over to the cage, and she was so small she was 9 months, so small, like tiny, not even a pound, and wasn't eating, wasn't coming out of the cage to socialize or see anyone. So that's why she was still there, because there was no connection with anyone, so they wouldn't let anyone adopt her. And I opened the cage, and she came running out. So they said, you have to take her with you. She's choosing you. And I said, I don't have animals. I'm allergic, and no, thank you, but let someone who knows what to do with them. Lo and behold, Tinkerbelle and I began our journey, and I stopped at every single pet store and purchased way too much for a tiny little dog. And the whole thing began of just me trying to walk her around, to socialize her, to not make her afraid of people or anything else. And I would just walk her through the city all the time. Every time I'd be there, and everyone would stop me, and I used to think, oh, I have that funny-looking dog that everyone stops to talk to because they're funny-looking and that makes them cute. And my friends are like, she's not funny-looking. She's really cute. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I just kept her every time. I'm like, I can't even take her for a walk, I guess, because she's so small. Everybody, like, I was trying to walk her to socialize her. So my main goal was to do that, and it obviously was working. And then one time an animal agent happened to be passing, and she stopped, and I didn't know I just thought she was another person stopping. And she started asking me a lot of questions, and I said, I thought it was a little strange that she was asking so many questions. So I said, may I ask, why you're asking so many questions? And she said, oh, I'm a talent agent for animals, and I want to work with her. And I said, oh no, thank you. And she said, well, come, let's sit down and chat in my office. And she was my client, and made an appointment, went and talked to her. And it was just, that's how it all started. And Tinkerbelle was receptive to it. And she said, hello, hey, who trained her? And I said, I didn't. She goes, oh, you've had animals and you've trained them before? I said, no, this is my first, and I just talked to her. So Tinkerbell's first, it was just crazy. And the first job she got was she booked the Ralph Lauren job, which was only supposed to be in and out, half hour, one shot, end of story for a print. It ended up that David, Ralph's son, took a liking to her and kept putting her in every single shot, not just in photos, but in videos. And, her first job, I wasn't going to say no, or I was just like, ooh, this is a pushy stylist, not realizing who he was. It ended up, we were there like all day. He made her the face of the campaign. Her little face was on billboards, posters, Subway, everything, everywhere that you can imagine. Full page Harper's Bazaar magazine, Cosmo, everything. And everything just took off from there. And she kept getting work through the agent. About her third job in, the stylist said, oh my gosh, I love this dog. She's so cute. What's her handle for social? And I said, she's a dog. She doesn't have social media. And then she got mad at me, walked away, and I said, this dog world is crazy. What's wrong with these people? And she comes back at the end of the shoot, and she goes, okay, so here's your login, here's your password, keep up her Instagram. And I was like, what? And left with Tinkerbell's brand new Instagram account, and it's just been keeping up with it, and it just started to take off because the more work she got, the more people she was meeting, and the more posting, and it's just incredible, an unexpected, true Cinderella story, and the journey that is continuing is absolutely amazing, and I wouldn't change it for anything.
Oh my God.
It's amazing.
So that is that's absolutely incredible. So how long did you have her that you were socializing her? Like, just kind of, I hate to say it, but how long was she a regular dog with you, just being kind of your companion before the animal agent and everyone found her? She was a regular dog prior to me. And then as soon as I got her right away, I was walking her around and everybody was talking to her, and she instantly was coming out of her shell. So the animal agent was probably about 11 months, and at like 13 months, so 2 months, and then at 12 and a half, 13 months, she booked the Ralph Lauren. So literally, like, I feel like she jumped out and chose me because she knew I would let her do what she wanted to do, which is be in this industry. Which is incredible because it just is fate kind of coming to play in so many different ways for you to be there, that she kind of jumped out, the animal agent. That's just incredible.
Yeah,
that just blows my mind.
She did have an owner prior to me, who then, that's how she ended up at the shelter. And to be a second owner for her, I think, was her way of saying, you people are wrong. I'm going to get my way and find her the right person to get me and take me. And she got her little mission, and I feel like she knows what she wants to do. And this, And this is a whole new world for me when it first started. And I was like, what is this world with animals? It's crazy. And one thing kept happening and another thing kept happening. And it's just like everything that happens, I'm like, wow, that was amazing. I don't think anything can top that. And then something else happens. And it's just like an amazing roller coaster ride. But It's also, people think it's all, just amazing and fun. But it's a lot of work, and you have to be dedicated and willing to do the work to let it all fall into play.
Yes, it is a lot of work. I can't imagine how much you guys do. And I think that I should tell the story about how I met you guys and just actually trying to explain how different Tinkerbelle is versus regular dogs. Because, I think people take photos of their dogs and you can get a great photo, but Tinkerbelle is completely different in terms of when a camera is there and when she is working, I would say. And so I met you at your Halloween party in 2016 in Wall Street. What was that, the W Hotel, Wall Street?
Yes. Was it the Ondas?
Oh, yeah, it was the Ondas. You're right. Yes.
Yes, the Ondas for the Halloween party, and Tinkerbelle was Snow White.
Yes. And I think that what's really funny is most dogs, when you get them in costumes, just kind of act like doofuses. They're just kind of uncomfortable. They'll take photos and they'll humor a dog. But Tinkerbelle, she really poses and she turns herself towards the camera. It was just so incredible to watch.
Yeah, that's where I told him, and I'm like, I don't think she's really a dog. I think she was some famous human actor / model that was reincarnated into this little dog, because she's not like an animal at all. There are no, other than she is an animal, she doesn't behave like an animal at all. With people, she as you see, she loves people. She loves meeting people. She doesn't want to play and run around and jump on other dogs. She wants nothing to do with that. She'd rather be with the people and sitting and listening and observing, and it's the strangest thing.
She is so interesting because I have a photo that I took with, I think it was 4 other dogs with her, and she's almost kind of removed herself so that she's in front of the pack, closest to the humans with the cameras, and then every other dog is just being a doofus trying to get that actual photo, and the humans are all, and she is just working it. It's as if I've never gone to a model photo shoot, but I have to think in the way that Tyra Banks and everything I've learned from America's Next Top Model, that it's just watching that kind of the working, the angles, all of that, because she does it all. It's absolutely.
She does. It's crazy. I know. I agree with you. It's the craziest thing. And people who work with me social media wise that are we want to partner with you for this social media campaign and this one, and then if there's an event they're doing that they're we want to have Tinkerbelle as the star, blah blah blah, and I said I try to explain to them how she's different, but to people who don't know her or haven't met her, they don't get it until they meet her and see how real social media dogs behave and how she does not behave like that. And that's what I try to tell people. I'm like, you don't understand. Social media animals are strictly pets. They jump on people. They run. They climb. They bark. They fight. I said, Tinkerbell's not like that. She's very different. And I say it's diva with a little attitude, but it's just because she's not like a dog.
She's really not like a dog. She behaves. I do think that if reincarnation exists, there is someone incredibly famous in Tinkerbelle because she just very much connects with humans, but she's also so accommodating in terms of, I've seen you guys like have kids take photos with her, and she's just very, I don't know, she's very accommodating with everyone so that she can get the photo. It's so interesting because whoever is trapped in your dog, they're quite talented.
I totally agree, and it's true because, you know, a day that she's, you know, doesn't have to be on a set or doesn't have to be in a shoot or I don't have to take pictures of her. She just sits and, like, literally she'll watch TV and she just chill and hangs out. And, like, I feel like if she could have a cup of coffee, she would literally drink a cup of coffee and watch TV. Because it's crazy. But, yes, she does behave like a human. And unless you witness it, you don't understand it. You know, it's so funny.
That's absolutely hilarious. How has it felt as the owner? Because obviously you kind of came at this in a very, very interesting way, but it sounds like all you wanted to do is provide the best quality of life for Tinkerbelle, not expecting that it would lead to this completely new thing. How has that felt as just a person? Because I would expect that you wouldn't have thought that your life would have taken the turns and these incredible life experiences.
Absolutely. And, you know, the first thing I always say is, what if I said no originally? Yeah. What if I said no? Like, what would she have been like? I feel like she would have then been just totally unhappy and miserable because she thrives, like, on a set. She really rises to the occasion. And for me, just, I think by being open and saying, okay, I'll adopt her and, okay, let's give this a try and see if she can do this acting thing. And I think just by being open and saying yes, it's just been the most incredible journey. And her travel blog, which is now so many award-winning, she's got so many awards for her travel blog now at this point, the International Travel Blog, that, you know, these places I've been with her, I would probably have never experienced in my life. Who knows? You know, you don't know, but I don't know. And I feel like that's part of the, okay, let's do this, is being able to enjoy and do everything that comes your way without hesitation. And I think that's why, you know, she's changed my life totally for the better. I mean, I'm not saying I get any sleep anymore because it's literally 24/7 of work, but it's absolutely an amazing adventure. And and you know, every day I look at her and I'm like, wow, Tink, this is great. Thanks, this is amazing, you know. And I'm meeting so many more people, and I'm experiences new traditions and new cultures and new this and new that, and it's just terrific.
It's so interesting because in my opinion, most times if you rescue a dog, I think that you pick each other, and it's almost, I would say, oddly, whoever religiously you believe in, I believe it is a spiritual experience where that dog is supposed to come to you if you listen to kind of, I don't know, the universe or whatever, and you two are supposed to find each other. And it is kind of like a soulmate that you are supposed to find. And so it's so interesting that you have,
And that's why I feel like by not putting up the wall and not saying no and, okay, I'll go home with her. And that's just it. I feel like she literally was waiting for me. Not that I knew that, but she knew she knew who she was waiting for, and that's how it just happens.
Yeah.
And I totally agree, and that's what I say all the time. If this is a path we're supposed to go on, Tinkerbell, then let's go. You know?
Oh, it's so incredible. I even, like, with my dog and my rescue, I adopted her at four. Everything kind of aligned in such a beautiful way that the owner wanted to surrender her, which ended up being my birthday, and I picked her up on my birthday, and it was the best kind of experience. But I think in a weird way, the universe aligned so that dog can find its existence. Yeah.
I totally agree.
That's so cool. So tell me more, for people that don't know, talk to us about the travel blog. It's so fun because I'm very aware, but I think it would be fun for you to tell people about it and just name drop some of the incredible places that you guys have gone.
Oh, yes. So when Tinkerbell started blowing up on social media, I had a hotel, the Kimpton Hotel, reach out to me in Boston, and they said, hey, we know you're on the East Coast. We wanted to see if you'd like to bring Tinkerbell and partner with us. You know, you can stay here all these nights and do this and that and that. And I said, as I'm reading the email, I said, is this such a thing? Is this such a thing? So I said, all right. And they said, what dates do you want to come? And I gave them just dates, and lo and behold, there I went up to Boston with Tinkerbell, and that's how the travel blog honestly began, by not realizing this was a thing. And I was like, wait. And they said, you know, there's pet-friendly hotels, and we feel like Tinkerbell can get the word out there for these hotels and resorts, and, you know, it's the best way is through a famous animal. And I was like, oh, okay, not realizing it was a thing. And then I was like, okay, it's a thing. And then once I did the one hotel partnership, other hotels started seeing and sending emails, will you come here, will you come here? So Tinkerbell has been to Rome, Italy. She's been to Venice, Italy. She's been to Paris, France. She's been to London, England. She's been to the Dominican Republic. She's been so many places, Las Vegas, California, Newport, Rhode Island. She's been so many places in the United States, including like even Colorado and all over Denver. And it's just amazing. And to travel internationally is a dream, because I love to travel and I love to see new things and experience new things. And when a hotel is partnering with you, how can you say no?
Yeah, completely. Your dog is more well-traveled than me, it sounds like.
Well, I wouldn't be this well-traveled without her. It's unbelievable. This is what I'm saying. Like, it's just amazing. It's, you know, and to have her travel blog get recognized by the Webby Awards and the W3 Awards. And then we did this pilot that was on PBS. It was called Meet Sam and Her Intimate Famous Dog Tinkerbell, and it won this Folio Award. And I was like, wow, Tink, the show won a Folio Award. Wow, that's amazing. And then all of a sudden, I get an email saying, hey, your pilot's been nominated for an Emmy Award. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, this is crazy. So we had Emmy Award nomination and Shorty Award nomination. So the events were the same weekend in New York just a couple of weeks ago, and she didn't end up winning the Emmy, but just to be nominated is amazing. And she did win a Shorty Award. So, you know, her award wall keeps building and trophy wall keeps building, and I'm like, this is crazy.
Oh my gosh, that is so incredible. She could be like the first dog that gets like an EGOT or something like that. We could put that out there, that she has to be in it. I would love that. Yeah, she could get a Tony.
I would love
see
it.
that for her.
She's been Chowsy and Gypsy and, you know, in New York. So, I mean, that's what I tell everyone. If the right show comes along, I'm willing to do another show with her, and and take it from there, because she loves it. She loves the modeling. She loves the acting. She loves everything about it, because she just loves being with people. And she loves being, everyone, like when we did Gypsy and Chowsy, they have the talkbacks, which is like the lead actors in the show talk to the audience, guests,
Okay.
At the end of the show. Well, of course, Tinkerbell was there as the Chowsy for Gypsy, and everyone in the audience wanted to talk to Tinkerbell and not the actors. And I was like, I feel really bad. This is really bad. And I kept apologizing to the actors, and they're like, okay, all good. Yeah, but everybody in the audience that was asking questions and taking selfies right away went to Tinkerbell, and I felt bad for the actors, and the director and the producers were there, and afterwards I'm like, I'm really sorry that Tinkerbell stole the limelight. And they're like, that's why she's here. It's okay. I'm like, okay.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Especially like if it's a show like that, there are always kids at those at Gypsy's a family show, so families will be there. The kids don't want to see the famous Tony Award nominee actors. They want to see the dog, and she's so small that the kids can hold. You've seen her. Kids hold her. They talk, and Tinkerbell loves it. She eats it up.
So it's absolutely. I cannot imagine what your life is like. It sounds like so much fun, but it also has to be tough, because sometimes I would think, just like a famous celebrity, you just almost want to have that cloak of invisibility to just be like, okay, I'm just trying to get a coffee, or I'm just trying to do this. Do you struggle with that?
I do sometimes, especially in the airport at 5 a.m. when people are like, oh my gosh, that's Tinkerbell. I'm like, really? I'm like, now I've got to get on this plane, and it's like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. And things like, don't bother me now, I'm too tired. And I'm like,
oh my gosh.
And, so that's happened a couple of times. But, it's nice that she is recognized, so I, of course, accommodate everyone. But sometimes it's rough, like in the city, running into a Starbucks, and, of course, the barrister's like, oh, Tinkerbell. And I'm like, I have to be somewhere in 5 minutes. You can't stay and chat. We've got to go. I'm really, So it's hard, but it's acceptable. I wouldn't change it. Amazing.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of a part of your success story, because people also, I would have to think, with a dog like yours, they feel a part of it because they follow her and follow everything that she's kind of doing too.
Exactly, and the people who haven't met her, there's tons of thousands and thousands of people who haven't met her in person, when they finally meet her, they're so excited that I don't want to take that away from them.
Completely.
And the other thing that every single person who follows her, when they get to meet her in person for the first time, their first comment is always, oh my gosh, she is so small in person. So
she is tiny in person.
And I guess her attitude in her photos and all just makes her seem larger than life.
Yeah.
But literally all of her fans, even if they'll recognize it, they're like, that's Tinkerbell. Oh my gosh, she's so small in person. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize she was that. And I'm like, that's why I write 5 pounds of, everywhere, so they realize, but no one realizes. It's so funny.
She's even in the time since I first saw you guys in New York to when I saw you again in LA, it like I was second struck when I was like, oh my God, I forgot how tiny she is. She's
exactly, and it's just so funny, because I do think that this huge little personality just makes her seem big, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess so, but yeah, it's so funny because it's literally everyone's first reaction. And then the parents who have the kids are like, be careful, she's really fragile because she's tiny. I'm like, oh, it's okay, she's fine.
Oh my gosh. And I should have asked this before, but when you adopted her, did she have the name Tinkerbell?
Oh no. When I was persuaded to adopt her,
Okay.
her name was terrible. It was Little Sis. Lilsis.
Oh. No.
Exactly. And then after I was persuaded to adopt her because she, was insisting on it, I said, "Wait, what's her name?" And they told me, and I said, "That's terrible." I said, "No wonder why she's here." And I said, "Can I change it?" And they said, "Yes, you can change it. She's 9 months, but you can change her name." I said, "Well, that's really bad." And they're like, "What do you want to change it to?" And she was so small, like literally on the palm of my hand. She was so small. I was like, "I don't know." I'm like, "She's so tiny. She looks like a fairy or something." I go, "How about Tinkerbell?" And everybody's like, "Oh, what a good name." I'm like, and I said, "Do you like Tinkerbell?" And she looked at me and I was like, "Okay, I guess it's Tinkerbell then." So that's how her name came to be.
Oh my
But
gosh.
it was not. And I feel like if she had that name, she would have just been not happy. If she had
it would have been
name.
a different dog. It would have been a different, I think that your name stands for so much of your identity personally, and so I think that it would have not been Tinkerbell the model. Like, I think that that's so much a part of her existence in a weird way that, I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah, I think, especially, with the E at the end, making it as the Southern Belle, Belle, I feel like it's just made her a little more upscale, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Giving her a little diva-ness, and yeah, so that's how her name came to be, but her name was terrible before. Terrible. And I said, "No wonder why she's here. She knew. Get out of there."
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. So you guys have also had the opportunity to meet a ton of celebrities. I mean, every time I look, I feel like you're meeting someone famous, and it's pretty incredible. So who are your favorites? Who do we need to know are the absolute best? Who loves Tinkerbell the best? Tell us everything.
Oh, well, it's really hard because each and every one that I meet, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is crazy." But I can run down the list, but they're all so nice, and so they're just like hug her, kiss her, like everyone. I don't know, like honestly, who loves her more, but I can start rattling off some names.
Okay.
Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift, Camila Cabello, Whoopi Goldberg, Rachel Ray. She's met every housewife from New York. She even worked with Bethany Frankel on a Febreze campaign.
Oh, wow.
She's met Snooki. She's Scott Rogowski, Lori Hernandez, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh my gosh.
Betsy Johnson, she was in her last New York Fashion Week show. Betsy Johnson, that was amazing. All the Dance Mom kids from the real Dance Moms, not this new version that's out as of yesterday, but she knows all of those kids. Maddie Ziegler, the whole cast of Orange is the New Black, a lot of models, Broadway show people, because she's backstage at almost every Broadway show, from Beetlejuice recently. She, SpongeBob back when it was out. Let's see, who else? Famous models, a lot of YouTubers, sports people. She's been with some people from the Giants, some people from Jersey Housewives too, of course. She's met all of them. It's crazy. Kevin Jonas, amazing.
Yes,
Kevin Jonas,
I saw that photo today.
Rumor Willis.
Oh, wow.
Lala Anthony. Yeah, of course, Dylan Lauren from Dylan's Candy Bar, which is a relative of the Ralph Lauren. Yes. Oh my gosh, I can't even. Susan Egan, who was the original Belle.
Oh wow.
Yeah. James, from the original cast of Aladdin on Broadway, the genie James Englehart. Met him. She's been with while we were in Las Vegas, she was with Siegfried, the magician, and we saw his white tigers.
Oh my gosh.
Dave Chappelle, the comedian, and
wow.
Yeah, Kevin Jonas was amazing. But yeah, I mean the list just keeps going. I can't even remember all of them, but it's just amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's the craziest thing ever. And
so incredible.
And it's just the list, it goes on and on and on. And that's what I'm saying. Every time something happens, she meets someone, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Then she meets someone else, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And it just keeps going. So I just hope it continues because it's amazing to get to meet these people from Me Too. And, Tinkerbell being in all their arms, and they're so nice with her, and it's just amazing.
That is just so incredible. What has been one of your favorite experiences that you've said to yourself, this is not my life? And just an experience that Tinkerbell has brought that you're just
Taylor
how
Swift.
Is this happening?
I'm a Swiftie, so Taylor Swift taking Tinkerbell in the middle of a concert and hugging her, kissing her, singing with her, and the whole stadium going wild, and Tinkerbell on all the screens and jumble, it was just crazy, and I didn't know it was going to happen, and if it wasn't for all of the people in that sold-out arena, I would have no photos and no videos, because my concern when I'm always with Tinkerbell is just holding Tinkerbell, making sure she's safe and okay. I had nothing prepared, no camera, no phone out, nothing. So when she came over and just said, oh, Tinkerbell, and took her out of my arms, I was like, it's a huge stadium. Everybody's excited. Everybody's screaming, but I'm just in shock, but also making sure Tinkerbell's okay.
Yeah, because that's a also a chaotic environment too. Because as the mom, you're just first and primary, it is your dog. So you're just oh my gosh.
Correct. And, everyone was wild. And, there was no cell service at the stadium. So I didn't realize how much of an impact that made on everyone in the world until I left the grounds of the stadium and my phone literally was blowing up. Twitter, Tumblr, it was crazy. It was crazy, and I feel just that was unbelievable. And as I said, none of this ever is planned like that, and it just was amazing. That to me was a huge highlight. And then just also getting to be on all of these morning shows throughout the country as we go traveling, to be on their morning shows is amazing. And we just did the AOL Build Brunch series that shoots in New York, and that was amazing. And coming out, they have it all roped off, and everybody's out there trying to meet who was just on the show, and everybody's taking selfies with Tinkerbell. It was just that was amazing too. Everything. I feel all these opportunities are amazing.
It's so funny because also it's funny because it's also with a dog, it's different than a celebrity where you're expecting to see a celebrity or a model in a commercial. And when you guys had the Target ad and Tinkerbell kind of pops out of the purse, I literally screamed at my TV. I scared my husband, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's Tinkerbell!"
Exactly.
It was like,
and
what's
that's
going on?
I know that's the best thing is that when people recognize her on their TV set in a commercial as an actor, that to me is rewarding because that's really her first thing. And now to get recognized by everyone, oh my gosh, like you said, like, oh my gosh, that's Tinkerbelle the Dog and that's in that commercial, or that's Tinkerbelle the Dog in this national magazine, or that's like she was just in the New York Post for an ad with their new toy, and they're like, oh my gosh, that's Tinkerbelle the Dog in that New York Post ad. And like, it's just, to me, that's rewarding because that was her first thing, and that's where her roots are, and that's what she continues to do. And that's what separates her from, honestly, from all the other social media animals too, is that they can't do that. They can't get on a set and on cue pop in and out of a bag. And, you know, it's just amazing.
She
and
is
I love that people
incredible.
recognize. Thank you. And I love that people recognize her for that too.
Yeah, it's fun, especially too, because it's her being a dog. I think that the human connection that you have with a dog is different when you do recognize it in a place that you're not expecting to see it necessarily. And for me, you know, having gotten to meet her a couple times now, I feel much more of a connection with Tinkerbelle because she is a dog. It's very different in my mind in terms of how I process it as compared to if I was to meet, I don't know, Gigi Hadid or someone famous. And I live in LA and I see those people all the time, but it's different in terms of, I think, the connection that your brain has because it is a dog. It's associated with, it must be a different spot in your brain. I can't actually put words to it, but you expect to see certain things, and I think a dog is just different.
Yeah, I agree. And the other benefit is that she makes so many people happy on a daily basis, is that even, you know, her followers, if they're having a bad day, they look at her post for the day and they'll send me DMs. They're like, oh my gosh, I was having such a bad day. Thank you for making me smile. Thank you for making me laugh. You know, so
sweet.
That's the most rewarding thing, is the impact that she makes on a daily basis to people around the world, not just, you know, here.
Wow.
Yeah, so that to me is really special.
That is absolutely incredible. And it also feels like the sky's the limit for Tinkerbelle and for you guys in terms of continuing to travel. Is there anything that you guys have coming up or you're most excited about that you can share?
Well, I can say that she just got booked to shoot something in LA. I can't say what it is or anything else, but we're coming back this month for a couple of days. So, that's really exciting. And she does have right now 4 national/international hotels that I'm just waiting to try to plug in dates with, internationally and nationally. So they're just on hold, those hotels, until like this booking just happened. So I was waiting to see, well, if she gets this, I can't do this travel with you on that date. So just let me wait a few days and see if she gets this job, and she just did. So I'm excited about that. And now I'm excited to try to fit in these destinations as much as I can, maybe in June and July, and if I have to go into August with a couple of them, I will. But yeah, just to continue the travel blog and continue working.
That's
so
the incredible.
Goal. And just like you said, the sky's the limit, and whatever comes my way, I try not to say no, and I just try to keep it open.
Yeah, I mean, this entire path has kind of emerged by you just saying yes and letting the universe come to play.
Yeah.
So I think that you should continue on that path.
Exactly, and I wouldn't have met you the first time at that Halloween event if the people didn't say, let's make Tinkerbelle the host of this party, and can you bring her, and can she do this? And I said, okay. So if I said no, there would have been another door closed, see?
Completely. Yeah. And I'm so excited that I've gotten to meet you guys. It's been so fun, and you guys have been so generous, and I'm so appreciative of that, because I think that it's in the way that I think that you guys are very different than the other Insta dogs of the internet. I absolutely love that, and I'm really, really excited to share this story, because it's been something that has been something that I've so wanted to tell, and I think the podcast is going to make this so fun to share this with everybody.
Yes, and I'm so excited, and thank you for even, thinking of Tinkerbell for it. I'm very excited and appreciative, and I'm excited.
That was absolutely so much fun to talk to Tinkerbell and Sam. They have such an incredible story, and to think that one of the most famous dog models was an owner surrender and a dog that was sitting inside a cage waiting for her forever home is just such an incredible story, and I really think it shows the absolute power of rescue and the adopt don't shop message. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please rate, subscribe, share this with your dog loving friends, and don't forget to give your dog a very big hug and kiss from us, and have a good one. Thank you so much for tuning in.